Hey, what's up guys? Today is Thursday, June 13th. I am just finishing up here at the campsite past Rock Pass, and this campsite is probably one of my favorites so far. It's got a stream that runs right through it, and today I actually took a little bit of a late start just to allow my body to recover. And yesterday was definitely a challenge, dealing with all that snow and having to use my ice axe and traverse all the snow. And I mean, talking about like inclines like that, walking alongside and slipping and having to self-assist, it was definitely a challenge. So and mentally you have to psych yourself up. You gotta hit those slopes with confidence, because if you're weary of your steps, you can slip in an instant, and you could slide down. Now there wasn't any cliffs or anything, but you know, I would have slid down pretty far and it would have been a bitch getting back up. So just a couple things that I want to talk about. You know, it's been a week now since I've been out here in the wilderness in Washington, and 3 days ago I started hiking ahead of Locahannas, and she was moving really slow. And out here it's really about hiking your own hike. And I waited 2 days at Castle Pass, and she never showed up. And that traverse up to Frosty Pass was pretty tough, so I'm hoping everything is okay and that she made it. I'm hoping that she's just taking her time and just moving a little slow. Today I'm going to be hopefully getting as close as I can to Hart's Pass. I want to put in as many miles as I can. From here to Hart's Pass, have a little bit of elevation, a couple passes to go through, but we'll see how it goes. The last chunk of terrain that I went through from Woody Pass to Rock Pass was very challenging. So I'm hoping the next couple passes aren't too bad. It's roughly about 1 o'clock, and the sun is shining. The weather's been beautiful. And my bag just fell over. Last night I got into camp about 9:15. Seems to be the same time every night that I've been rolling into camp. Put in about 11-12 hours yesterday. Took a couple breaks on the hike, but my body is feeling pretty good. And today, I woke up around 8:45, and I'm just trying to get my habits and routine down, as far as my gear and setting up camp, and just making sure I'm being efficient with my time. One thing to consider, is definitely, as much as you want to hit it as hard as you can, the trail is, these treks are just like a workout, and you can't go 100% every single day. You can't go 100%. You can give 100% effort, but your body cannot take relentless over and over and over and over intensity, because it's just going to break down. So especially in the beginning, take your time, take some me time, which is exactly what I did today. I woke up, I haven't really been close to a stream the past couple days as far as my campsite goes, so I took advantage of that today. I washed, it was laundry day, so I washed a bunch of my clothes because everything was getting pretty stinky. As far as my body goes, just washing everything. And one thing that I've been very cognizant of is just making sure that my joints and my fingertips and my toes and my toenails are all I'm rubbing aquifer on all that, just because I don't want any infection, and having that just little barrier I think is going to help keep things safe and less infection. If things do start to stink, wash it off, and I use hand sanitizer every night when I get into my tent. I make sure I'm brushed clean. I take off my wet socks, because your shoes and your socks are going to be wet every single day. I'm just going through so much water and rivers, and so my gaiters have been a big time help. And so when I get into my tent, I sit in my tent, and I keep my feet outside, and I take my shoes, my boots off, and take my gaiters off, and I keep those outside of the tent just because they're pretty dirty. And then I take my seal socks off and my wool socks, and I turn them inside out, and I hang them, and I make sure that they're getting as dry as possible. I know a lot of people sleep with them inside their sleeping bag. That's another technique or tactic people use to help dry their clothes. Me, preferably, I like to keep my sleeping bag as clean as possible, so I put on some smart wool leggings and a smart wool base layer top with a hood, and that's what I'm sleeping in. So I want to and socks too. So I want to make sure I'm keeping my body as clean as possible. But before I do that, I take aquifer, and if my feet are stinking, I'm rubbing that hand sanitizer on my feet just to get them nice and clean, and then I put aquifer on there just to give it a good moisturizer, and then put the socks on, and that seems to be keeping my feet pretty good when I wake up in the morning. Last night I thought I had maybe a scare of an animal, which was kind of funny. Not really that scary, but you just got to make some noise, and it sounded like there was an animal that was coming underneath the rain tarp or the rain flap to smell inside, but I don't know. I just grabbed my ice axe and my knife, and I just started banging it and made some noise. And it's, as you can see, it's really windy here, so I couldn't really hear too well. It was pretty quiet last night, but animals, if they're night animals, they're moving pretty quietly, pretty stealthy. So, but nonetheless, didn't have any issues. So, the other thing is all my batteries are dead, and I don't have any paper maps with me. So I am putting my navigation skills to a test today, 100%. Knowing that I might run out of batteries today, I'm keeping my phone as off as much as possible, and I'm going to be, which sucks, not taking as many pictures and videos on this part of the trek, but I want to make sure the GPS does pull a lot of battery, and so does taking videos too. So, but what I did was I drew a map, and actually like four separate sections of maps, and I got my bearings as far as direction and major waypoints, and just tried to make it as accurate as possible. I've been doing about a mile every 20 minutes, so I know that as far as my pace goes, I know I'll be hitting certain waypoints, and I can check that off. The trail is pretty well, at least getting this far south now. I'm pretty confident I'm going to start running into people, and I won't have any issues as far as traversing the trail. So, but it's definitely not something I don't recommend not having paper maps, and I did have paper maps, but during my shakedown I left my book with my brother. So knowing this, and I also left my solar panel with him as well, which was super heavy. So not having both of those is definitely a hindrance for me right now. So I'm definitely going to, as soon as I get back to a town, gonna order a smaller solar charger and get some other maps too, paper maps, because those would definitely be pretty handy right now. But you know, the sun sets in the west, it rises in the east, and you know, I know the major mountain ranges, you know, where I have to traverse, so, and where the streams are, so everything should be okay. So I know this video is getting kind of long, and I need to get on my way and get some miles under my belt, and yeah, feeling pretty good. So hopefully I can hit Hart's Pass, or get as close as I can. It's about 15 miles, just over, and yeah, looking forward to taking my 0 day. If not tonight, then definitely tomorrow. So I'll be checking in with you guys later today, and see that amazing view. We'll take care, guys.